Hey guys, I'm back again with a brand new video for you all, and Ultra League is starting from tomorrow, 11th September. Is this September? Yep. 11th September, and in my country it's 10th September, so it's tomorrow. So we got to be ready for Ultra League, right? And to be ready, we need teams, we need team strategies, we need team building ideas, right? So I went through the meta, the new meta Ultra League, and I've come up with some teams, and I wanted to share with you guys. And again, Messi here again. Sorry for that habit of keep forgetting, but that's how boys are, right? Messi, clumsy. That's how we are, the boys. And before we start the video, I want to we have to note one thing, that for example, while building an ABB style team, that team might have been like weak, somewhat weak in some scenarios or some conditions or some situations, like ABA weak to something, even though the team is ABB, and I might have missed out on that. So you can use your alternatives for each and every mon in this video, and that's how team building is in PvP, right? Wow, that was a pretty long wired thing. I hope you understand that that phrase. I'm sorry if you don't understand. Please, if you don't understand, please do comment, and we will have some chat, and then I might help you guys. And before we talk about these 10 best teams for the Ultra League, I want to tell you guys that the unnerfed or unbuffed or unchanged mons from previous season is also going to be so good in this season, like Golisopod, like Greninja, right? These guys are going to be really good. Like, they can counter every meta, and not every, a lot of the meta, and they can core break a lot of the teams, so we can use them and build the teams. And some of the nerfed Pokemons are still going to be good, like Registeel, because it got nerfed just in the chance of debuffing your opponent's attack from Zap Cannon. But the damage is still going to be the same, right? The energy cost is still going to be the same, right? And it's still going to be good. Am I talking a lot before starting the video? Well, without any further ado, let's start the video. So the first team we'll be talking about is going to be Malamar, Licky, and Talonflame. Now, the basic idea of this team is going to be, we've got Dark and Psychic up front there, right? We got Dark, and it's going to be weak against the Fairies. So to take care of the Fairies, we got Fire and also a Flyer there. And Licky basically going to be your safe swap. Now, Licky is going to be really good safe swap. That is what I believe until now. But I have to be honest with you guys, I need to go out on the battlefield, and we'll have to test how much of a good safe swap this guy is. And I'll come back and make a video and tell you guys how good safe swap Licky is. But yeah, just basically like Snorlax in the Ultra League and Lickitung in the Great League, right? It's gonna work, but this time it's not gonna be Lick, it's gonna be Rollout. So it's gonna be good for those Fires and Fire Flyers and the Flyers, right? It's also got Shadow Ball for those Giratinas. Can also run Earthquake. It's got Earthquake also, guys. And yeah, basically the line of this team is that I just said. And Malamar is, from this season starting, Malamar is one of the best Pokemon in PvP, right? Psywave, Foul Play, and Superpower. You can also run Hyper Beam, guys. Yep, it can learn Hyper Beam, and you can surprise your opponents, right? So yeah, basically idea of this team is that, and you guys can run this team. So let's move forward to another team. Team number 2 is going to be Feraligatr, Virizion, and Registeel. Just if you look at it, water up front and double weak to fire at the back, grass and steel, right? So that's what we got. Feraligatr up front, and Registeel is 90% of the time going to be your safe swap, and it can bait that fire out for your Virizion. And talking about Shadow Claw on Feraligatr and Virizion, the grass fighter, threat would be Pidgeot, right? But wing attack got nerfed, but people will run Ghost on Pidgeot, I'm sure about that. So yeah, we can just stay in the lead with your Feraligatr against the Pidgeot, and yep, that's how it's gonna go. Now, like I said earlier, this might be ABB, but might also be ABA weak against something. This is a little bit of example. But weak means not that weak. Feraligatr is not that weak against Pidgeot. Just the fast move is resisted, right? Not the charge moves. And plus, you can always land an Ice Beam. And Feraligatr being weak to Ampharos, when you got Virizion, we can take good care of Ampharos. So these two work together very good, right? And we also got coverage for a lot of things like Ghost with that Shadow Claw on for Alligator, and we got coverage for that Fairies with Registeel, and yeah, we got coverage for the Dark types with the Fighting type in Virizion. And the fighters, let's talk about the fighters, Pangoros and Machamps, right? Pangoros and Machamps. All right, Pangoro against Feraligatr. It's going to be a little tough against Pangoro for Alligator in comparison with Machamp, because Machamp is pure fighting and it's not resisting those Shadow Claws like Pangoro is going to also be dark, right? But Virizion is a fighter and it's going to do good against that Pangoro, right? So that's how we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little here and there, right? And that's how we're gonna play with this team. But this team is really gonna be very good. And Virizion didn't get any nerfs. It's still gonna be very good. It's gonna be very good actually, and can destroy a lot of the Metamons. And yep, it's gonna be good. Now moving on to another team. It's gonna be team number 3: Golisopod, Clefable, and Giratina. Now, talking about this team. Golisopod, guys, Golisopod can meta break and core break a lot of the teams. Talk about Ghost, you talk about fighting, you talk about fire, you talk about other waters like Feraligatr. Like, what is Feraligatr gonna throw, right? It's got water gun and hydro cannon and ice beam. So it's gonna be water type Golisopod. So if it's gonna throw crunch, it's gonna be bug type for Golisopod. So it's gonna be good against those fighting types as well. And gonna do good against Ghosts with that Shadow Claw as well, right? It's gonna do really good, guys, against those Psychics as well. And against the new meta Malamar as well. Malamar is gonna have superpower, it's bug. Malamar is gonna have Psywave, it's bug. Malamar is gonna have Foul Play, it's bug. Oh wow, did I rhyme good in there, guys? Okay, the idea of this team is 2 Shadow Claw users. Now, no real good answer against the Dark types and Dark Flying. Golisopod is bug. Like Mandibuzz is gonna do good against both Giratina and Golisopod, right? That is why we got Clefable there. Now, all of these 3 combined is not gonna do that good against things like Registeel, which is gonna core break, but Golisopod can do shield plays and through neutral Shadow Claws and liquidations, and Registeel doesn't have a strong move to throw against Giratina. Giratina at least has the neutral moves like Shadow Claw and Shadow Sneak. Every move from Registeel is resisted by Giratina, right? But in shield plays, Registeel can obviously do good against Giratina, but still, with few here and there's and team plays, we can do good against Registeel as well. But it's still going to be tough. Now, talking about those fire flyers or Talonflames, we gotta watch out for that fly against our Golisopod, the bug, right? And Charizards are not going to be, there aren't going to be Charizards because Wing Attack got nerfed. Even if they are they're gonna run Fire Spin in their Charizard, and this team is going to be good. Moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 4, and Fighter, Double Dark, Double Poison. This was from Poliwrath, Double Dark, Double Poison. So what I think is this team might still work. Obviously, run all 3 shadows if you have, and you cannot run shadow. You can run normal variant as well. But I think this team is gonna run good, especially Karate Chop in Machamp and Poison Poison Sting buff in Golisopod is going to be really crucial here, right? And Drapion, I think, gonna be your safe swap for most of the times. And yeah, there we go. We get coverage for a lot of the Ghosts, right? A lot of the Psychic types, and with that Poison typing for that Fairies as well, right? And yeah, for that Steel with that Fighting typing as well. And yeah, I think we're gonna have a good time with this team. The thing that can threaten us is going to be Fire Flyers, or the Fire Talonflames and Scalar Dirge. But we got 2 Darks, but still, it can do good resisting those Poison moves and Fighting moves. And Talonflame can actually do good, but we can always do good. We have Super Effective Stone Age or Rock Slide from Machamp, and we can hit hard, and we can have Aqua Tail in our Drapion. And we can do some good neutral moves with Poison Jabs from Skuntank, right? and this team is actually gonna work, I think. Yeah. So moving on to another team, it's gonna be team number 5. Yeah, after 4 it's obviously gonna be 5, right? It's gonna be Talonflame, Double Dark, Mandibuzz, and Guzzlord. Basic idea: both the Pokemon at the back are gonna be weak against Fairy, so we got Talonflame at the lead, in the lead. By the way, guys, is it on the lead, in the lead, or at the lead? Just tell me, guys. In, on, at. I'm so confused with this English. I don't know English. This grammar thing. When do we use in or when do we use on? Man, it's like, I don't know. Let's get back in the video. Talonflame and Double Dark, right? So yeah, Talonflame can do, like, Talonflame is gonna be weak against waters, and we got Dragon there, right? And both the Pokemon out the back are weak against fairies. We got Fire there in the lead. Oh, so in the lead sounds good. Yeah, it should be in the lead. Yeah, in. It should be in. Yeah, in the lead. At the back. Is it in the back? On the back? I don't know. Alright, let's again get back to the video. I'm sorry for that, guys. I'm sorry. And the thing is, the only bad thing about this is going to be ABA weak against Ampharos or the electric types, because we got double flyers here. That's gonna be sad, that's gonna be bad, but we can run this team. And you have seen a number of videos in my team running ABA weak to a lot of the things, and we are doing good, right? And we can just come and we can just stay through moves, sack our Pokemon, or just come in with our Guzzlord after we sacked our first Pokemon. Or we can just swap into our Mandibuzz if we see Ampharos, because Mandibuzz is much tankier than Talonflame is, right? So that's how we're gonna do. And I believe people are gonna run Regirock, but at this point, at least for the start, you guys don't need to worry about Regirocks. And yeah, Regirocks, because after like quite some times people will be start using Regirock. The rock types again destroying both our ABA, like lead and back, Mandibuzz and Talonflame. But other than that, this team can be good, right? So moving on to another team. Team number 6 is going to be Giflame and Virizion and Shadow Ampharos. Now, talking about Ampharos, I've said this like a lot of the times. Now, Brutal Swing is gonna be buffed in terms of energy generation, but nerfed in terms of damage. Now, before Brutal Swing, okay, let me try to be a bit precise here. Before Brutal Swing, before was 5 for 2, 5 volt switch for 2 Brutal Swings, and 8 volt switch for 3 Brutal Swings, right? So it's now going to be 5 volt switch for 2 Brutal Swings and 7 volt switch for 3 Brutal Swings, if I'm not mistaken. I'll again recheck after the video, but yeah, that's what I think it's gonna be. 7 volt switch for 3 Brutal Swings. Yep, that's how it's gonna go. And we got a ghost there, Drifblim. And if you like safe swap, put Ampharos as your safe swap, right? And if you safe swap your Ampharos, and they're gonna come in with their Giratina. If you are ahead on energy, if it goes in shield place, 2 shields, you're gonna win Giratina, because 4 turn moves for your Shadow Ampharos can flip the switch against Giratina. That's how it's gonna go. If you get like 1 or 2 volt switch ahead of Giratina, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be advantageous for your Shadow Ampharos. And that's where I run Shadow Ampharos. And yeah, Drifblim is looking really good with that new update, Astonish, and you can run Icy Wind and Mystical Fire, but run Icy Wind and Shadow Ball, right? And yep, again, Virizion there. This team looks really balanced here. Now against those steals, you got Virizion, right? Against the flyers, you got Ampharos. Against the other fighters, against a lot of the ground, there are going to be XL Gastrodons. Yep, and there are gonna be like a lot of the mons that Drifblim does good against in this Ultra League meta. And moving on to another team, it's gonna be team number 7. It's gonna be Tentacruel, Pangoro, and Registeel. Now the thing here is Pangoro and Registeel. If you talk about this, these two handles like pretty good each other's weakness, but share a common weakness, that is going to be fighters, right? So Pangoro is gonna be weak against Fairy. Registeel is gonna do good against Fairy, right? So Registeel and Pangoro both are gonna be weak against Talonflame. So we had to put such a lead that is gonna do good against fires, that is gonna do good against flyers, that is gonna do good against Fairy. So Fire Flyer and Fairy can be handled by Tentacruel, right? That's why we put Tentacruel in the lead there. And yeah, this team really is looking good. If you don't see Fighter in the lead, if it's kind of neutral, then you can save swap into your Registeel. That might take out the counter like Fire Flyer like Talonflame or the Fighter. And that way Pangoro can do good, right? And yep, that's how this team is going to go. But we'll have to still go out on the battlefield and we have to check, right? Now, in theory, this team is good. In theory, right? And yep, that's how it goes. Moving on to another team, it's going to be Greninja Double Fairy. Again, Greninja is gonna core break a lot of the things, and Talonflame, even there are going to be Feraligatr, is not going to be out of meta circle. That is why we're going to use Greninja. It can take good care of both Feraligatr and fires. Right, gonna be weak against fighters. That is why we got fairy types there. And all three Pokemon can be weak against Registeel, but Greninja, if Registeel is in the lead, Greninja can double shield and win, right? If it's in the lead. Now, if it's not in the lead, if Registeel's got like 2 or 3 fast moves before your Greninja, then Registeel is gonna win even if you double shield. And if Registeel also double shields, Registeel is gonna get to the another like third Zap Cannon. That's how it's gonna go. But in the lead, it's not like in the lead you're gonna win with your Greninja in double shield scenarios. And both the Pokemon at the back, being Fairy, is gonna be weak against Registeel, so that's gonna be the key thing that we need to keep in mind. And yeah, it looks pretty balanced. Giratina's got nowhere to go, and other things like got Ghost Scar like in the lead, nowhere to go, right? Greninja is gonna do pretty good, and yeah, people are gonna be also using Runerigus that absolutely walls Registeel and do good in meta. It's got Brutal Swing, the new move that you can learn. And yeah, Runerigus is also going to be in the meta. I think that is what I think until now. And yeah, this team is going to do pretty good. Moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 9, Shadow Dragonite, Feraligatr, and Skeletor's the double alligator, the double crocodile. This team is still going to work. Now, previously, a lot of the people use Shadow Dragonite, Feraligatr, or Poliwrath, Shadow Dragonite, Feraligatr, or Tapu Fini, Shadow Dragonite, Tentacruel, or Skeletor, Shadow Dragonite, and Annihilate or Tentacruel, just like that. They used to balance it like that, right? So what this team is like, Feraligatr is going to be a safe swap. Dragonite being weak to those fairies and ice, we got Skeletor for that, right? That's how this team is going to go. And talking about those Pangoros, Dragonite being the flying type can do good against those Pangoros as well. Plus Dragon Breaths are going to do absolutely wild. And yeah, that's how this team is going to roll. And for those steals, we got Feraligatr as the safe swap, and we have Skeletor in there. And yep, that's how this team is going to go. And Shadow Dragonite is still going to be good. And yep, still going to be good. And moving on to another team, it's going to be team number 10, A/Slash, Giratina, and Tentacruel. Now, to be honest, in the place of Tentacruel, I wanted to keep space there like blank, because Alolan Sandslash and Giratina are very good core, such a good core. Talk about fighting types, A/Slash is gonna be weak against fighting, and Giratina is gonna do good against fighting. Now, Pangoro can do good with those Night Slash spams. That's a different thing, and that is why you can put in place of Tentacruel, you can put Talonflame, you can put Fairy, right? You can put those, but Tentacruel is also gonna do good. Now, Alolan Sandslash absolutely can do, like, there are gonna be a lot of flyers like Driftbleam, there are gonna be ground like Runerigus, there are gonna be like Giratinas, it can do good against those as well. There are gonna be fairies, there are gonna be poisons. So that is why A/E is gonna be the one of the best pick in Ultra League this season as well. So that's how it's gonna go, and this team really works pretty well. Yeah, I'm sure about that. I'm sure about that. Giratina and Olon / Core is gonna do very good, and I think I will release the best course for Ultra League video. I think tomorrow maybe. Yeah, but until then, this is the best teams video, and that's it, guys. I hope you like the content. If you like the content, please leave like and comment and subscribe the channel if you have not yet. Thank you.